Hello guys, it's the Sun Gaming, and today I'm reacting to 12-year-old knocks out a pro fighter by Dhar Mann Studios. Anyways, let's begin.
Where you been? Out. Yeah, out causing trouble, I bet.
I wasn't doing nothing. I was just picking up some snacks.
And how did you pay for those? You better not be fighting again.
I got money from Jimmy. He owes me. I keep him safe at school.
Yeah, by fighting, no doubt.
What's the difference? I got the money. Now where's Ronnie?
He's doing his homework. You can learn something from him. He actually goes to school.
Yeah, good for him. Maybe one day he could bail me out.
What's this now?
Good evening, ma'am. Can I come in? Let's go, son. You're under arrest for robbery, breaking and entering, resisting arrest.
Hey, Mom. Thanks for coming to bail me out.
No.
I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. He's a kid. Like, why is the cop acting like he's an adult? Okay, I'm sorry, but that is not how it works. Like, how is it that I'm not from the U.S. and yet I know this is not how it works? Like, you don't take a kid to jail. That's not how it works. Like, first of all, if I'm not wrong, there's a specific jail that's for juveniles, and it doesn't seem to be that. And second, I have a question. Like, my guy is 12. He probably didn't even reach puberty yet, and yes, you're judging him. Okay, I'll be honest. I don't know exactly how arresting a kid works exactly, but like, I don't think that he'll be put in jail. Like, I don't think that's how it works. Like, again, I don't know exactly what arresting a kid, what the process will be like compared to an adult. Like, of course, the adult goes to jail, but what about the kid? Where will he go? Will he go to the juvenile jail? I guess, because again, like, there is jail for kids, yes, but it's different than the ones that adults, I guess, are in. Okay, anyways, I might as well continue.
Mike, I can't keep doing this with you. When you're done here, I'm gonna have to send you to reform school.
What?
Why?
When will I be home then?
We can make something of yourself, Mike. Until then, you're gonna have to be in the system.
So you're just gonna abandon me? Like Dad did? Mom! Mom, you can't just leave me here.
Okay, I have to ask, where is he exactly? Like, the uniform and stuff like that tells me it's jail, but I think like he could have probably been put in jail for like a temporary time until they figure out what he's gonna do, I guess. But okay, reform school. Okay, anyways, let's just continue.
So one less for dinner then?
Yeah. Looks like Frankie's not going to work on. He's getting sent back to the facility.
Did he actually do something, or is he just not good at boxing?
Both. He started stealing again.
Oh,
What do you want me to do about it?
we could start by paying some bills. That would be nice. You need to do something.
Need I remind you that I trained 2 world champion boxers?
And where are they now? Are they paying our electricity?
Hey, where is this coming from all of a sudden?
I can.
Okay, I have to ask, what do you expect him to do? Like, I'm not gonna be surprised if this guy over here is like 70 or 80 or something like that. But like, at that age, he's supposed to retire. What do you expect him to do? Like, it's not a situation where he's in his 30s or 40s, because guess what? Like, I've seen this type of stuff before, but like, when you're talking to, I would guess her husband. So when you're talking to your husband who's 70 and 80, what do you expect him to do? Like, what do you want him to do, huh? What job will hire, like, 70-year-olds or something like that. Who will do that? Like, it's very clear that even if he's not 70, it's very clear that he's over the retirement age. So what do you expect him to do? What? Okay, I might as well continue since I've asked the same question like 3 times.
Give up my life for you. We have no family, no children. So you can pour your life into these fighters. These kids, they come, they go like the wind. And what is left for me? For us?
I understand. But there's nothing I can do about it right now. I train boxers. There aren't any real boxers around for me to train. We're gonna figure this out.
My guy, how are you even gonna train them? Like, you're so old, I'd be surprised if you were actually able to train them aside from speech. Which, let's be honest, it can't really work because with boxing and other sports, you kind of need to set an example, you know? Not everything can be speech. So I doubt you're even able to do this. And also, yeah, it's kind of his fault. Like, the fact that he poured his entire life on fighters that will pretty much forget about him, like, maybe a year in when they're actually doing this professionally. Like, of course, they'll remember him for, training them. But let's be honest, eventually they'll just forget who trained them unless that person who trained them was a significant part of their life. If that person was just a trainer, no more, no less, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they forgot about him. Anyway, let's continue.
Something's gonna come up. It always does. Hello. Are you sure?
I've got somebody I want you guys to meet. These are my two best fighters, Sam and Mike.
Yeah, I'm not running a charity here. I'm looking for the best of the best. Somebody who's gonna go all the way.
Why don't we just have them box then? See for yourself. All right, guys, let's spar.
I thought you told me that Sam was the best teenage boxer you ever seen.
He is. That's because Mike is only 12. Pretty impressive, right? I tried to tell you over the phone. You want to meet him?
So, Bobby, what's this kid's story? He said he's got a bit of a record?
Yeah, he's been arrested a couple times.
What's a couple of times?
No, maybe 30. Yeah, 30 times.
Oh, is that all? Were you planning on telling me before I let Al Capone into my house?
Listen.
Excuse me, you're telling me he's been arrested 30 times? My god. If that was true, he wouldn't even be here right now. Like, I was surprised when I saw him because I assumed that was, the first time or something like that. But if that time that we saw was the 30th, then yep, he's staying in I guess juvenile jail, I guess something like that, for the rest of his teenagehood. He isn't getting out. Like, why would the police let him out after 30 times? Like, yeah, I mentioned he wouldn't exactly be in jail because he's not even a teenager. He's still a kid. But when you get arrested over 30 times, yeah, that excuse won't work anymore. Because the whole kids don't know better doesn't work when you get arrested over 30 times already. Like, I'm not joking. If this were realistic, he'd probably be in juvenile jail or something till his adulthood. Like, I don't care about any reform school. Like, reform school comes in after a second or third time, not the 30th. The 30th is just straight up juvenile jail. Anyway, let's continue.
Yes. This kid's had a pretty rough childhood, but I'm telling you, he's the real deal.
Hey there, son. What's your name?
Mike
You got a last name?
Tyson.
How long you been fighting?
I'm sorry. What? Okay, did the story say inspired by a real story or what? Because that name choice is kind of a coincidence, isn't it? Like, I have to ask, is this story inspired by like Mike Tyson's actual story, or did they just take his name? I'm assuming they just took his name because usually when they do something like that, they make it pretty clear that they did. For example, the one that they did with Eminem, for example, they made it pretty clear that the story that you're seeing was either inspired or based off of his actual story. Anyway, let's continue.
Mike.
All my life.
That's straight fighting. I know something about that too. But that doesn't do me any good. How long have you been boxing?
Couple of months.
A couple of months. And you can already do that. Huh. You still staying at the reform school?
Don't have a choice.
He's very good.
I'm sorry, how do you know he was at a reform school again? How did you know? Because last time I checked, the guy didn't tell you that he was at a reform school. Now, of course, I don't know much about kids getting arrested, but, like, what? Does him getting arrested automatically mean he's at reform school? Like, that's a genuine question. Like, you know what? Let's just continue.
Very good, Camille. He could honestly be the one. He's 12 years old and he's strong as an ox. He's got a right hand that just.
This isn't the first time that I've heard all this cuss. We can't afford another mouth to feed, especially the seriousness of your.
Listen, just meet him, okay? Come on in, please, Mike.
He's already here. Us. You always said that we'd make decisions like this together.
Now, how are we going to do that unless we meet him? Say hi, Mike.
Hey.
Hello.
So, Teddy and I were talking, and we were thinking about entering him into the Junior Olympics. Take a couple of years to train him.
Couple of years? And who's paying for him until then?
Mike, why don't you go on upstairs and see the other kids? Introduce yourself, okay? Thanks. Now, we're going to get $200 a month from the government for housing. And that's more than enough to pay for his food and his clothes and all that.
Money from the government means he's in the system. So what did he do?
Well, he's had a few run-ins with the law, but hey, he's a good kid. How about this? We give him a chance. If he causes some trouble and he doesn't work out, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Can you do that for me?
I'm sorry, but again, I don't see how the story can even happen. Like, again, I'm repeating this again. I don't care. Like, maybe he'd go to reform school if he, had a few run-ins with the law like 2 or 3 times. But when you reach 30, like, my guy, you're staying in jail until your adulthood. Like, I don't think even the police, without kind, they could be the children. Because, we've seen some kind of police. I don't think that they would allow a child that has committed crimes over 30 times just let go in reform school or something like that. Like, I'm being genuine here. Like, how would he be at reform school when he's did this over 30 times? Plus, I don't think he even, did this within, a long time span because he's 12. Like, for him to have committed 30 crimes, he must have done them within, a pretty short amount of time. Like, maybe a year or so. Who knows, maybe even less than a year. Ugh, anyway, let's continue.
Please. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Slow down. I can't chase you.
I know she doesn't want me here. It's fine. Nobody ever wants me nowhere, man. Everyone's always abandoning me.
I want you here, Mike. We're going to work together.
Oh, yeah? I heard you in there, man. You just want me here for the government checks.
Mike. Would you believe that the man who lives here with his wife and 3 foster children trained 2 champion boxers that are in the Hall of Fame? No, huh? So what does that tell you?
I'm sorry, you're telling me you have your wife and 3 foster children, how are you paying for them? Like, I'm being genuine here. How? Because it doesn't seem like you're, I won't say working, but like, at the very least, it doesn't seem like you're working a very good job. Or does it seem like he's even working aside from finding people to train? Like, my guy, where are you getting the money? How are you getting the groceries? Like, genuinely, how? Now I understand why his wife is like, we can't feed another person. Like, one person, one foster kid was already bad enough. You're telling me you have 3? Like, I'm surprised you didn't eat. I'm surprised you didn't get a loan. Anyway, let's continue.
I don't want money. I don't need it. The only thing I care for is boxing and taking care of you kids. So, let me ask you something. Do you want to be a champion? Okay, then. I know this is all new to you and that you're scared. But champions keep on fighting, no matter how they feel. So I ask you again, do you want to be a champion? Good. Now, I would suggest that you go on in there, get some dinner, head on to bed. We're up and at 'em at 4 a.m.
What? 4 a.m.? Why?
Because tomorrow we take the first step towards your destiny. And that begins with discipline and training. Right now, you're a fighter. At 4 a.m., we're going to turn that fighter into a champion.
Yeah.
So, get on back over there. Keep him in the court. Don't let him out. Hands up. That's it. That's it.
Okay, like, how unrealistic. First of all, I'm gonna repeat this again because he's the main character. He wouldn't even be able to do this. Like, genuinely think about it. If a kid got arrested 30 times, would he still be in reform school? I don't think so. He would be locked up until his adulthood. Like, I am being genuine here. Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
That's the way I like to see it. What's wrong?
It's about Mike.
What about me?
What's going on? What's wrong, Katie?
I brought you some dinner, Michael. You should eat something. I'm very sorry about your mother. Is there anything that I can do?
I never really did anything good for my mom, you know. I was always trouble. Getting arrested, talking back, stealing.
That was before. You're nothing like that now. You've changed. We all see it.
Yeah, well, she'll never see it. So mad at her when she kicked me out the house, and then I realized she just wanted the best for me.
Okay, I gotta ask, like, did she just send you to the reform school or whatever? Or did she outright abandon you? Like, which one was it? Because I wouldn't have been able to know that she abandoned you due to a simple fact didn't appear. So she just sent him to a reform school because she kind of needed to, I guess. But like, I'm still surprised. How the heck are these grandparents not dead and yet his mom is? Like, his mom back then was like half their age. How is that possible? And mind you, it doesn't seem like it was even an accident. I think it was just more of a natural death, because if it was an accident, he would have mentioned it. Anyway, let's continue.
I was gonna surprise her. Show her how good I was doing after I became champion. Just to show I made something of myself, you know? Now it's too late.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Mike. Your mother was a good woman.
What you sorry about?
I can't fight in the Olympics.
What about all that work we put in? It was all for nothing.
I can't fight like this. I'm all messed up, man.
Use it, Mike. Use all that anger and this pain that you're feeling at the world right now, and plant it in your opponent's face, and then leave it all out there on that canvas.
Yeah, easier said than done.
I know you're hurting, Mike, but what have I always told you? Champions keep on fighting no matter how they feel. A little boy feels pain and he runs from it. A champion feels pain and he fights through it.
Okay, so I'll be honest about this whole life lesson. It can honestly go two ways. Either you could say being so super insensitive or super encouraging. Honestly, it depends on the situation. Like, once I heard it, I immediately knew that this life lesson could honestly be both. Either it can be super insensitive, as in saying, hey, you know what, it doesn't matter how you feel. I don't care how you feel, I don't care if you feel sad, angry, whatever. You keep on fighting. Basically, not acknowledging that they feel pain, or super encouraging by the context that he uses, which is, hey, don't let that discourage you. Like, do you guys see how these two can be? Like, genuinely, like, this life lesson doesn't work everywhere because, like, I'm not joking. Like, this can be so insensitive. Like, you're basically just saying, hey, your pain is no big deal, just keep on going. Like, I understand, you could say this in another context, but I'm just saying that this doesn't work everywhere, and it can be super insensitive. Anyway, let's continue.
So you need to ask yourself, which one are you?
Champion.
What?
The champion.
I can't hear you.
The champion!
That's right. Now, when you go off to North Carolina, it'll be...
You mean that's right?
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm not able to go with you.
What? You abandoned me? Right?
Mike, listen to me. I'm not abandoning you. Listen. You're not going to be alone in North Carolina. Eddie's going with you, and he's going to be in your corner. We've been prepping for almost 2 years. Once that bell goes off...
Okay, what did I just hear? 2 years? My guy. That guy was 12. You're telling me he's 14? You're saying prepping, and you've been doing that since day one. So essentially, you're telling me that this guy's 14. Like, yeah, I obviously know that he's in 14, but that's what he's trying to say. Like he's saying, hey, we've been prepping for 2 years. Weren't you prepping since day one? Like I have the right to assume that he's been training Mike since day one. So let's be honest, that counts as preparation. Therefore, he's saying that Mike is now 14. Yeah, there's no way that's possible. Like yes, I know Mike isn't 14. That's pretty obvious. Like he looks like he's 16, 17, 18, maybe even older. But like the fact that he says that they've been prepping for 2 years, with the context given, yeah, I have the right to assume that he's saying that Mike is essentially 14. Anyway, let's continue.
I can't help you inside that ring. That's on you. Look, you said to Camille that you wanted to make something of yourself for your mom. Is that right?
Yeah. There's no point now.
Yeah, remember what I said about fighters remembering their trainers? Yeah, this video basically reinforces my point. Like, fighters don't remember their trainers unless their trainers had, like, a big impact on their life overall, not just as a trainer, maybe even something more. For example, that guy over there, I don't remember what his name is, but basically, you could say he's kind of a parent to Mike. Like, he's been taking care of him for who knows how long. Like, this video is telling me 2 years, which obviously I don't believe. But, like, yeah, basically, he's played a big role in Mike's life. Again, this reinforces my point that fighters don't remember their trainers that well, especially in the long run, unless they had a very big impact on their life. Like, now, of course, they'll remember their trainers, but like, they won't remember them with as, okay, what's the word? You know what, let's forget it. I honestly don't know the word, and I don't want to waste your guys' time by trying to remember what that word is. Anyway, let's continue.
You'll never see it.
Yes, she will, Mike. The fact that she won't be watching you from your corner doesn't mean that she won't be watching you. Do you understand?
All right, Mike, just feel the guy out a little bit. Start with a few jabs and keep your hands up, okay? Got it, Mike?
Okay, I need to get a better frame. Wait a second.
Just rest.
Okay, I have a question, but how is that possible? Like, even I, who isn't into boxing, know that part of the game is that the person who's knocked out is given like 5 seconds to stand up, and not just the moment that they fall off the ground that the person just wins. Like, where was the countdown? Like, mind you, I'm not even that much into boxing, and yet I know that rule. Or maybe I'm just dumb. Anyway, let's continue.
This might be about Mike. I can't miss this. Hello? You see that? Hey, take it easy. Take it easy, all right. Hey, Cuz. Good. I'm good. Cuz. Hey, help! Teddy, come on. Get him up the stairs.
Of course, you gotta have the grandpa be sick when the plot freaking wants him to be. Like, oh yeah, you know what? Let's make it so that at the most important event of this guy's life till now, let's make it so that his basically father figure gets sick in the most important moment. The amount of coincidence that you'll need for this to happen is absolutely ridiculous. Like, do I play the card? Do I play the card? You know what? I'll play. What a coincidence that he just so happened to be sick at the time of the most important event in Mike's life. Like, I'm being genuine here. Like, of course this will happen, but like the fact that he only got sick then, like, just words. But like, if he got sick at least a couple of days beforehand, maybe I'd understand. But right at that moment, no. That's just straight up a big coincidence. Anyway, let's continue.
So listen, Mike. The doctors aren't sure how much longer I have.
That was right. You are leaving me.
I'm not leaving you, Mike. And I'm going to work like a dog to stay around as long as I can.
Okay, Mike, I had to ask, why is it that anytime a person is away from you, you immediately say that they're gonna leave you or abandon you? Like, my guy, you're acting as if he can just take his life and extend it by 50 years. Like, what? Like, I'm being genuine here. Like, I understand how it's a pretext, especially with his childhood. I'd understand why he would think of that as abandonment. But, like, I'm talking about the previous cases, but this one, that's just plain stupidness. Like, how is your father figure nearly about to die because he's lived a long life considered abandonment? Like, you're talking as if he can control when he dies. He can't. That's pretty much a natural event that at most, maybe he can stay alive for like a few more days, weeks, who knows, maybe even months. But no, that's not something he can control aside from maybe extending his life a little bit more. Anyway, let's continue.
Because champions keep on fighting,
Fighting,
no matter how they feel. That's right. And I want to be with you all through this, Mike. The Junior Olympics was just the first step. You're going to go all the way to the top. I know it. I just hope that I'm around to see it. But I think we have more important things to discuss right now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
16 years old.
16? My god. From what I heard, you made me think he was 17, and even then I didn't believe it. But look, you're telling me you've been preparing for 2 years. So, what were you doing the 2 years before that? What, was he just playing around? Well, nope, because because I would say it's kind of a montage. The montage showed you've been making him work since day one, and yet you're saying, oh yeah, we've been preparing for 2 years. But then you go on saying, oh yeah, he's 16. My guy, by your context, by using simple math, he'd be 14. Look, see how that doesn't make sense? Anyway, let's continue.
Can you believe it?
No. Michael, what's the matter?
I just never had a birthday cake before. Thank you.
Well, blow out the candle. Dad, here's a little present from us. We hope you like it.
What's all this? You wanna attack me?
I don't know how much longer I have, but before I go, I want you to know how much you mean to us and to let you know that no matter what, I'll always be with you because I'd not only be your coach, I'd be your dad. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love the idea, guys. I love you guys so much.
Yep, this is based off the story of the real Mike Tyson, huh? Then why didn't you put an inspired or something? Like I genuinely believe that it wasn't due to the simple fact that they didn't put inspired. Like, my guy, at least give him some credibility or something like that. Like, I know that the name Mike Tyson would have been, like, would have revealed it enough, but again, Again, the last time you did something like this, you put inspired or something like that. Why didn't you put that? There's nothing in the title. And on top of that, you know, there wasn't anything that said based off of or anything like that. What, did I miss it? Did I miss it? Wait a second, did I miss it? Yep, I did not. Okay, but like, yeah, I have to ask this very simple question. Was the title fulfilled? No. Why? Quite simple. It's because the 12-year-old, or at least Mike back when he was 12, he didn't knock out a pro fighter. He didn't knock out a professional fighter. The only person he knocked out at that age was basically someone who was still training, but has been training much longer than he was. So technically, this title is clickbait. Anyway, we might as well see this. Okay, so yeah. I honestly didn't expect for this to actually be inspired by him due to the simple fact that if it was, they would have said it. But anyway, honestly, this story has so many holes that I'm honestly surprised. First of all, how the hell is a kid that committed crimes around 30 times not in jail? I don't care if you're a kid. 30 times means you go to juvenile jail, my guy. And you're supposed to stay there for your entire adulthood. Like, I'm being genuine here when I say this, but this story will not happen in the real world. And don't tell me it happened because Mike Tyson exists. That portion where Mike committed crimes was not a real portion of the story. Even the video itself never mentioned that he committed crimes. So yeah, that honestly doesn't make sense. Like, if this exact story happened in real life, Mike would be in jail. Mike would be in juvenile jail at least for his adulthood. Like, he wouldn't be training with Gus or whatever his name was. No, he would be in jail. Just straight up. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. On the left is my most recent video. On the right is a video YouTube recommends. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.